stuff. I don't know how long a person would want to stay in the physical, but if that energy is able to fix what's wrong, it doesn't sound like the human body would go through the normal, what we see as normal cycle of birth to death.
Well, we're here on this planet to learn. That's part of the thing, too, is that we have to learn how to face our fears and then make a better choice in our lives. We wouldn't have these problems if we had made better choices. I made bad choices in my youth. Ate the wrong foods, and my body is now paying for it. And I realized it's a lesson I had to learn. So, yes, it would be great to have a new body, all perfect and everything. But we also have to face the choices we made. That's part of living here on this planet. It's to learn. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Claudia. Does anybody else have questions about it to ask Claudia?
Yeah, hi, Claudia. This is Dean Val. Just wondered how, this energy, scalar energy, is activated. Do you need a machine? Can you sing the new you? How is it actually activated, and how can you focus it on an intent?
Well, yes. Personally, I do both. I sang the new you several months ago, and information was provided to me about scalar energy, which is just information. It's not electric, and yes, the machine produces it and sends it out. It's like when you walk into the kitchen and maybe your wife or somebody's baking a cake in the oven. When you walk into the kitchen, the first thing you do is smell something. Oh, I smell a cake baking in the oven. You don't have evidence of it, but you know, and the oven didn't construct the cake, but it's cooking it. So scalar energy is information that's being transmitted out to the person who needs it, and it knows who you are. It's a lot to learn about, and I've only scratched the surface. I don't have any extensive knowledge of it, only what I've read in a couple of books mentioned by Einstein and Oppenheimer and some of the other German scientists who were studying this in the 1940s and 1930s. Scalar energy is really not new. It's old in the sense it's existed here all this time. Now, Dwayne has taken the opportunity to share with us this information, and he does it with the new you sound, which we now can sing a few minutes before bed and ask a question and see what comes up in our dreams. Most people don't pay attention to their dreams, but you can ask a question and receive an answer immediately. Now, if you recognize the answer, that's part of the trick, is that you have to see what your information you're receiving and how it applies to your situation, your individual situation. So it's an adventure at the same time. You go and you look, and it comes from the all-natural environment. It supports us and has supported us, but we have just destroyed so much of it. I mean, with the emissions from our cars, the planes, the boats, the trails in the sky, everything that's there, the plastic that is floating as islands in our oceans that's killing the fish. We're responsible for that, each of us individually, and we have to make a choice. Do we want to continue destroying our planet? I mean, we live here. If we mess up our planet, we have nowhere else to go. We better wake up, get smart, get wise, and start correcting the mistakes that we have made individually. Every time you get in your car and drive a combustion engine, you're putting out emissions that's not good for our planet. Every time the boat sales between China and the United States carrying merchandise. It's polluting the water the fishes live in. It's their home, and we're polluting it. So we have another way. And we already have other ways to move about and to transport ourselves. It's just simply a choice we have to make. Thank you.
Thanks, Claudia. It's interesting, too, about this energy that you call information and how the effects on the population that becomes aware of this. It's almost like it might be looked at as metaphysical or what you might call the psychic tricks or something, but it does sound like a great gift in the new presentation to the world physically that would surely those that have good effects from it would relate that to the new presentation as it coming through, them becoming aware of this gift to heal the physical. Is there anyone else that has any questions for Claudia about this scalar energy, or I guess we'll call it the new energy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hi, Tim. This is Henry here. I'm with Val in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, hi.
I've been using scalar energy here to been building some PVC pyramids, and some Russian guys found that by building pyramids with a certain angle of 76.345 degrees, it can assist the natural environment. And they've cleaned groundwater, and they've brought extinct plants back to the earth. They healed people, and they make crops grow like 400% better and all sorts of cool things. And so I've been building some smaller ones that still have an energy field of a few miles, and it's really cool. And we experience that here, and lots of people have been building them around the world from learning about how to do it on YouTube, and it's really cool. And it's like you said, there's something just now, Tim, about how it's kind of, to some people it's like psychic stuff, but really everything is psychic stuff in creation. Like even watching a plant grow, you know, it's kind of like magical, just keeps growing. Where does it come from? You know, somewhere in the earth, and it's magical. You know, science might try to explain it, but really it's just some kind of psychic phenomenon, and it's really cool to watch how it happens. But it's all natural. It's supported by the natural environment and supported by scalar energy, really, because, you know, scalar energy only exists in creation, and it's always everywhere. It's always present, and it supports everything. So it's kind of like a reflection of the is, and we can use it here to create a benefit, but by you recognizing what your intent is. So it's pretty cool, and we've been experiencing it here, and because we are affected by so much unnatural nonsense here everywhere, we can use these things to offset that, because like Claudia mentioned, there's just so much unnatural things taking place here, and it affects us and all of our bodies here in creation. And so by using scalar energy on this physical level, because scalar energy exists in all the levels, it can assist all of our bodies so that we can be okay here or better off here, and offset all this unnatural stuff so that we can continue to support the natural environment and assist others in recognizing what it is as we become more aware ourselves. So yeah, scalar energy is really cool, and I suggest people to look at onlypvcpyramids.com on YouTube, or go to their website, and that's the kind of pyramid I've been building. I've also been building organite, scalar energy, Russian geometry pyramids. So yeah, it's all really cool stuff, and it can assist us while we're here. until we don't need them anymore. But it's really cool, and it's cool to hear Claudia's experience and Claudia's view of it, because you don't necessarily need the big scientific understanding. It depends on your view and how you see things. But once you start to experience this stuff, it's really cool, and you can actually create your own scalar energy waves. Well, you already are with your different bodies, and by aligning that with the new wave and singing the new you can project your own scalar energy frequency consciously wherever you are all the time, and you can become more aware, and others can see that in you, and they can become more aware too. So yeah, scalar energy is cool, and anybody can experience it without buying or doing anything. But the more you use of these things to offset the unnatural stuff, the more you can become more aware.
Yeah, thanks, Henry. It does make me wonder of the so-called powers that Jesus supposedly had, if that is like this information, this new energy. What would be the difference?
I think that he had intimate knowledge from being taught at a certain age about this energy. And the people of the time of Jesus were not ready for it. Everything was a miracle. They couldn't understand that this is information. It just wasn't the time that they could handle that. Now we are more educated as a population on this planet, and we can understand more about it. Some of the things that have been hidden from us are now being revealed. When you sing the new you, and ask a question, you get an answer immediately. And it gives you information that you might need to access from a place of quiet and calm. And like Henry is making these pyramids, the Russian pyramid has a different angle, and it provides such wonderful information to your body. And it's an opportunity to learn more about our natural environment. Everything that we do that's natural supports the natural environment that's supporting us. It gives us sustenance in life. So it is good for us to learn more, and that's what Henry is already doing with his project. Very, very, very helpful to the rest of the planet. And we can access this information and take care of ourselves more than letting somebody else take care of it. It's always good to do it. If you're going to make some food, do it yourself in a nice, gentle way, because you know that it'll be cooked just the way you like it. Or make a cup of tea just the way you like it, not too hot, not too cold. Everything is an opportunity for us to learn more and access the information from our environment. We've forgotten how. That's the whole point to sing New You. It helps us remember how to interact with our environment. And boy, when you do that, you learn lots of stuff, and you see wonders right in front of your eyes, like Henry mentioned, just watching a plant grow. We don't have time for that because we're too busy taking our kid to the soccer game, or we're too busy watching the football game on Sunday, and we don't have time to sit down and have a conversation with the tree growing in our front yard, or look at a blade of grass and see the wonder of the cells that take sunlight and create sustenance for cows or something like that. It is a most interesting subject to explore, and we now have the opportunity to be explorers. And Dwayne has brought us the new information, which is the new scalar energy is the new energy, and it's new information. Thank you.
Hi,
yeah,
this is
thanks.
from. Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Sandy
Go ahead,
from
Sandy.
Wisconsin, part of the Bob team here. I just want to talk about my backyard a little bit and what's been happening this year. Of course, I sing New You twice a day in the morning and at night and other times during the day. But the first thing I noticed, I have a poplar tree out in front, and as I was walking the dog, all of a sudden I noticed that there are 2 big wild rose bushes blooming. They're pink flowers and they smell wonderful. Now, I didn't plant those. They just appeared. And then as I'm walking the dog in the backyard, I noticed there are 2 more wild rose bushes that are blooming. And these are good-sized rose bushes. These are not like a little seedling or anything. They're good size. And then I noticed that I have black-eyed Susans that are blooming. I have a little woods back there. I mean little. Used to be nice and big till they cut down a lot of the trees for apartments. But now my grandmother had black-eyed Susans, and I never planted them. In fact, my neighbor came over and she says, "Oh, did you plant black-eyed Susans?" And I go, "No, they just appeared." And so that was really cool. And I've got a lot of other stuff back there. Birds have been coming in that have not been seen in Wausau before, but they're in our backyard here. But anyway, another thing, my neighbor had come over the other day, and she was complaining about the Japanese beetles. And if anybody knows about those, they're really rated as a number 1 pest. They will eat everything and anything. And I thought, well, okay, she's seen some over at her place, and they're eating stuff. So I'm walking the dog around the house, and we have a place where I have some raspberry bushes. And there's also, since I do not use any pesticides or anything like that, I have some thistles that have grown quite tall, probably 5 to 6 feet tall. I kid you not, they're huge. And they bloom with a purple flower at the end. And I thought, what is on that leaf? Or leaves, I should say. Here I look closer, and it's just, this plant is covered with Japanese beetles, or these Japanese ladybugs, however you want to term them. And so I gave him a nice talking to. I said, you can eat this thistle and the other thistles, but don't you touch the raspberries or any of the flowers. And the funny thing was, that night it rained. No more Japanese beetles. So work in harmony with your environment. There's a lot of things you can do. Well, first sing the New You. And New You. And talk to your plants, hug a tree like Claudia was talking about. Talk to the birds. It's amazing what happens out in your backyard. Okay, thank you.